It's just no fun when you're alone. But no matter what we're going through, together we can find our way home. So come on and sleep over, and everything will be just fine. You and I can wait until the sun. So come on and sleep over, together we can dream in time. And nothing's gonna stop us having fun. So come on and sleep over.
I don't know about you, but mostly it's pretty hard, as one little speck in the universe, to make much of a difference. Hope you don't think the stick-on stars are a bit naff. When I can't go to sleep at night, like now, I start counting them. 810, 811. It's hopeless. I'm too excited. You see, the thing is, I found out this week that even little specks in the universe like me can make a difference. It all started with this totally dumb rule at school. This is where all Year 7s have to sit and eat lunch. Humiliating, right? Well, last week, I decided enough was enough. I approached the situation in my usual rational way. This rule stinks. It discriminates against all Year 7s. Why should we sit here like kinder kids while the rest of the school run free? It's time to say no. It's time to stand up for our rights.
And down on our lunches.
Who wants to sign the petition?
Just what I wanted. Flat bread.
With friends like these, it's hard to be a visionary. But I knew that if we got everyone in the school to sign, Mrs. Poole would have to change the rules.
I'll start with the basketball boys. Nothing to do with Ryan Scott, of course. I'm prepared to suffer for the cause. I'll do it later, Frankie. I've got my first meeting with the school newspaper committee.
Perfect! This can be your first article for the school paper. Year 7 say no.
Well, maybe it's just me, but where we eat our lunches is hardly groundbreaking journalism.
Come on, Rosie. This is about the little people fighting the system.
I was kind of looking for a story with depth, human interest, emotion, not pickles, cheese, and tomatoes.
We got over 100 signatures that lunch hour. Not bad at all. Mrs. Poole said she was very impressed. She said she'd have a decision by next week. It was time to celebrate. 5 extra strength, extra ice, fun in the sun smoothies, Mr. S.
Coming right up, Frankie. You look like you've had a good day.
Let's just say me and Nelson Mandela have a lot in common.
Bad taste in shirts?
Natural-born leaders.
So, are you still able to help do the recycling?
I'll be here.
Do you want me to help?
It's cool. I can handle it myself. Looking back, that was probably the worst thing I could have said.
Frankie, sometimes I think I could slip right out that door and the whole cafe would keep running without me.
Mr. S, the place would fall apart.
I'm not so sure. I'm thinking perhaps it's time to settle down and tend my tomatoes.
What tomatoes?
The ones I will plant when I retire.
Excuse me? Only old people retire.
You know, Frankie, I used to think that I was part of Crescent Bay, you know, part of the community. All the kids would come in after their first day in school and, you know, have their ice cream cones and...
I remember that. It was so cool.
Yeah, but who am I kidding? You know, those kids, what difference do I make to them? Who remembers the beach hut?
Everybody! You're a total legend.
As we say in the trade, I've reached my use-by date, and if I'm not careful, I'll start going moldy.
This was an emergency. Mr. S leaving the beach cafe? It was unthinkable. I figured if I could convince Mrs. Poole to change the lunch rule, convincing Mr. S that he was an essential part of all our lives would be a breeze. We just had to figure out how.
I know. We make a huge banner, like ginormous, saying we love you, Mr. S. And then we get someone to jump out of a plane with the banner right over the beach hut.
Love the banner, don't know about the jumping.
Okay, how about we make hundreds of those sandwich board thingies and get everyone we know to wear them? Tasteful flyers would be much better and easier on the eye. That's it! At last, someone with taste. I found my story for the school paper. Mr. Stephanopolous, unsung hero. Heart of the community.
Cool!
What about the banner?
And the sandwich boards.
Great ideas. So, let's pick the best of them and get to work. We all went home, totally excited by our campaign, busting ourselves to hit the streets that afternoon.
Can you turn it down, please? Tom? Tom! Come on, guys. This is a bedroom, not a mosh pit. I said...
You know Lindsay's older brother Tom has a band, right?
I said, could you not play so loud?
It's meant to be loud. It's rock and roll.
Let's call it a day, man. This band's going nowhere. Fast.
Listen, I'm working on some new songs. Trust me, we're gonna make it.
I don't know about you, man, but playing to your kid sister isn't my idea of making it.
Tom, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to.
Don't worry about it. He's probably right. We're rubbish.
No way. I think your music's totally cool.
Thanks, sis, but you and who else?
That afternoon, we were ready to get out there and get the community behind Mr. S.
Okay, who's going to be sandwich board number 2? Fliss? They're not exactly fashion statements. Exactly how do you put this on? I can't! Look at my shoes, the colours totally clash.
Come on, Fliss, it'll be fun.
If anyone laughs, I'm out of here.
Head on down to the beach hut, heart of the community. And remind Mr. S just what he means to you. Or just give him a wave as you pass by. You'll make his day.
What's the story?
As if you'd care.
We care, don't we, fellas? What are we caring about today? Saving whales? Or hugging trees?
Rescuing rare blue-winged grass parrots. Read the flyer and find out.
Save the beach hut cafe.
The last thing we wanted was the M&Ms involved in our campaign. We were doing fantastically on our own.
I would not be doing this for anyone but Mr. S. Well, it seems to be working. I mean, everyone's looking at us. It's Ryan Scott! He's gonna see me! I somehow doubt that. He smiled at me! Did you see that? Ryan Scott actually smiled at me! Lynn, help me! Now I'm going to die.
These girls are such total losers. Looks like Mr. S is seriously going broke. Must be desperate using those girls for advertising. I think it's time the M&Ms showed the leftovers how to do things properly. Hey, fellas. Hey, guys. If it's customers Mr. S wants, it's customers he's going to get.
Mr. S is going to be so blown away. Totally.
This is going to be so fabulous. No way he can leave the cafe now.
Can't wait to see his face.
Ah! Frankie! My hero! All these people have come to see me. I will never leave the cafe. And you, Frankie, you will have free smoothies and pizza for the rest of your life! you have ruined my life and my business.
But all these people have come to ask you to stay. They're here to tell you how much you mean to them.
No. See? They come to redeem this voucher that you have been handing out. I'm ruined. Look, 2 for 1. You know what that means? That means I sell them one smoothie and I give another away for free. Huh? You do the mathematics.
The M&Ms, of course. Typical of them to get the whole thing upside down. Mr. S, this wasn't our idea.
No time for excuses, all right? As of next week, I am officially retiring.
Please, Mr. S, give us one more chance.
Frankie, you're a good kid. And I love you as my daughter, but please, please, no more help. All right, all right.
Maybe it was some weird planetary alignment or something, but everyone was having a bad time that day.
But you can't leave the band.
No hard feelings, man. But this other outfit actually do gigs.
Yeah, but the Wandering Wildebeest, they play folk music.
I know, but they get work, and we get paid.
Give me a chance. I've just finished one of my new tunes. Have a listen.
One song isn't gonna do it, man. And Froggy and me, we're both totally overplaying in front of a mirror. Right, Froggy? If you haven't got an audience, you haven't got a band. No hard feelings.
Okay, fine. I'll do it by myself. I don't need you guys.
Hey, Mr. S. Still need that recycling sorted? Or am I banned forever?
As long as you have no more of those wild schemes, eh?
I just wanted you to know how important you were.
I know, Frank, I know. But you know, that latest prank made me realize that I'm just getting too old for you kids.
My grandma says you're only as old as you feel.
Then I must be 150. Frank, I'm going to close the cafe this weekend.
What can we do about Mr. S?
He's made it pretty plain, Frankie. He doesn't want our help.
We can't just let him leave.
Sandwiches, anyone? After yesterday, I don't ever want to hear the word sandwiches again. Come on, Fles. The sandwich board thing was just so bad. I was humiliated in front of the cutest boy in the whole school. On a scale of world disasters, it's not the worst thing that could happen.
The worst thing that can happen is Mr. S leaving the beach hut. Crescent Bay just won't be the same.
No band practice today?
No band, no practice.
You busted up.
Go figure.
So, what do we do about Mr. S?
I don't know, but it's time to think outside the square.
Sorry about the band.
Lindsay will be pleased. We won't keep her from sleeping anymore.
We love listening to you guys play.
Pull the other one, it plays rock and roll.
Seriously, when I was in London, I'd get heaps of singles from new bands. And you guys are right up there.
We could be good, but we don't have an audience, so what's the point?
Go and find an audience.
Where? We've never even played a single gig. Right now, being an accountant's looking pretty attractive.
You shouldn't just give up. What you've got to do is think outside the square. Don't leave town.
I said think outside the square, not the universe.
But it's perfect. The band needs a venue. And we need a way of getting everyone together to tell Mr. S how much he's part of our lives.
You're forgetting one small detail.
Like what? The band is split up. Only because they couldn't get a gig. Now, they've got one.
Mr. S will never agree to it.
So we don't tell him.
That we're holding a rock concert at the beach hut. I think he might notice.
Not if we hold it outside. On the beach.
Brilliant.
And we invite everyone who's ever been to the beach hut to come along.
It'll be huge.
Awesome.
Just let Mr. S try say nobody loves him.
Now all we have to do is get Tom to agree to play. Leave that to me.
No way.
Don't you see? This is a win-win situation.
Look, I love Mr. S. He's totally cool. He makes a wicked smoothie, but...
But nothing. You used to hang out at the beach hut all the time.
Exactly. And I've kind of moved on from Smoothieville.
Look, what you need now is an audience, and we're offering you one.
I don't know. Maybe we're not ready yet.
You've been practicing for months.
Yeah, and we haven't even got a decent name yet.
Well, that's easy. How about The Hut?
The Hut.
The Hut. Simple, to the point.
It's not just the name. It's...
You're chicken.
I am not chicken.
You're a rock and roll band. Rock and roll bands need an audience.
Well...
Tom, you can't play in your bedroom forever. And screaming girls are screaming girls.
Okay. I'll think about it.
How cool a rock band at the beach hut.
We'll have to call the concert something funky.
How about Mr. S rules?
Oh, Mr. S rocks. I've got it. Rock the Hut.
Perfecto! Cool. Now, what else do we need?
A stage.
Decorations. PA system. Banners, flyers.
Okay, slow down. Let's do a list. Right. First of all... Yes, I know that, but we've only got 24 hours. Hello? Hi, Elton, darling. How are you? Yes, the yellow baby grand piano is standing by. I organized this weeks ago. Hi, Kylie. Yes, the Mile High Mirror Ball will be extraordinary. It looks fabulous. Sorry, what was that, Elton? Another call. Wrong phone. No, Kylie, but... Oh, it's you. So the sound system will arrive on time. Kylie, I can't hear you. The reception... I can't hear you. The reception's bad. It just can't be done.
Even if I give up athletics training, gym, and swimming.
There's got to be a way.
With only 5 of us, brilliant though we are, we just can't do it. Oh, yes, we can.
One good reason why we should help you out.
Because you're caring and sharing?
Gee whiz. When you put it like that, the answer's no. Come on, guys, I wasted enough of our time.
Don't you think you owe it to Mr. Stephanopolous?
How do you figure that?
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you give me no alternative. Mr. Stephanopolous will be very interested to know who was responsible for the 2-for-1 disaster and closing down his cafe. Somehow, I knew they'd listen to the voice of reason. It was the big day. Mr. S had stuck to his word and closed the cafe. It was time to get to work. We had just 2 hours to turn the beachside into a rock venue. I managed to convince Mr. S. Now he was retired. He was obliged to walk Megs on a regular basis, starting today. So that meant he was out of the way for a couple of hours. Genius. Testing. Thanks so much to the Academy for this award. I'd like to thank my mom, and my dad, my grandma, and my dog.
Houston, we have a problem.
What sort of problem?
It's Tom. He hasn't shown.
You're the roadies. You're meant to make sure this doesn't happen.
Hey, your concert, your problem.
Somebody do something!
There you are.
I can't do it. I can't go up there.
That's just nerves. Everyone gets them.
I can't even remember the opening line.
As soon as you get on stage, you'll be cool. It's a great song, Tom. You'll be fine.
It was a sellout. Everyone was there. Felicia's mum and Andy, Lindsay's mum and dad, kids who'd hung out at Mr. S's years ago, and their kids. And of course, Mr. S was there. Oh, and I was there too, doing my usual act of keeping a low profile. We all know why we're here today. Say a great big thank you to Mr. Stephanopolous for being part of our lives here in Crescent Bay. You rock, Mr. S! Woo! Go, Mr. S! Woo! Go, Mr. S, you jam! Thanks, Mr. S, from all of us. You're a total legend.
Come on, Mr. X!
What if they hate us?
Their problem.
Okay, I'll do it.
You better.
Thanks.
Hey, don't think I'm doing this just for you. If you don't get on that stage and perform, I won't have an article to write. And then, you've blown 2 careers.
So to celebrate the occasion, here's the hottest new band in town, The Hunt!
Hi there. Thanks for coming. This one's called Don't Ask Me. Don't ask me questions. Don't ask me for answers. Don't ask for reasons for what's in my mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ask a movie star. Go ask a movie star. Go ask a politician, 'cause they're the spin magicians. Go ask a movie star, or even something more bizarre.
Frank! I've got to thank you, Frank!
Still, Mr. X, if it wasn't for you, there'd be no concert.
I can't believe it. So many people here showing their support for me.
You bet. So the retirement plan's on hold?
What retirement?
I knew you couldn't leave us.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart for this.
Hey, had a total ball.
Go ask a movie star. Go ask a movie star. Go ask a politician, 'cause they're the spin magicians. Go ask a movie star, or even something more bizarre. Go ask your favorite pet. Go ask Bosch and Bet, and put it on the net.
Back at school, Mrs. Poole had decided that 105 signatures weren't enough to change her mind. She was adamant that all first years must eat their lunch at the table. Well, can't win every battle, but it's amazing what happens when you think outside the square. Or should I say, outside the concrete.